Hi again, everybody. It's me, Max Farrell from DexFXMarkets.com. In this video, we're going to talk about finding the best times for you to trade for you. Now, if you've gone through any of our series, you probably know that we have this process referred to as the Einstein window. The Einstein window is, when do you, as an individual, operate the best, right? Is that first time in the morning? Is it first time in the evening, right after you're home, you have a cup of coffee, or you eat dinner, or what have you? It also depends on what your external work process is. You have an outside job, or you're retired, or you're semi-retired. Do you not have a job at all, and you're doing this all-in kind of process? My suggestion at any level is to do what you feel comfortable with at first. Now, you could ask, Max, when's the best time to be able to trade? And there is no best time or worst time to trade. Well, I got to reiterate that. There is a bad time to trade. 1, if you're drunk. 2, if you're tired. 3, if you just don't feel like doing it. You know, there are bad times, but it's more personally than it is about the process. Any trade level and any system level can work with a little bit of analysis. But what we're doing in the very beginning stages is that I'm making you trade a 1-hour trade with a medium level system, medium level risk, right? With a market price value, which you'll find out about here in a few, called 35.65. Okay? You're going to trade that process to help get you into the idea of what the trades are, how to get in and out of Nadex, and how to work that process. Okay? You're going to do that until it's ad nauseum to you. Now, why is that? Why am I going to do that? Because it's going to imprint on you the different levels that you're going to be working with. Okay, so it's very powerful to be able to utilize a solution that gives you a stamp. Okay, you don't have to really look left. You're using the Dex Atomic X now. You're not using the Dex Atomic, right, where you have to look left and do all this stuff. This is signal fires. You look, is this one that you can take? Now, I don't have validation on. I should have validation on there. I click that, and it gets rid of a lot of the other signals on here that don't need to be on here, okay, in this beginning phase. And that's what you should be doing. Now, how do you find the best time period to trade? Well, we're going to do a little bit of back testing and paper trading. And what does that mean? Well, first off, I'm going to go to my settings. Now, the master pairs fire off from 1900, which is at night, right? This is 7 o'clock, to 5 o'clock the next day. All right, and we had to do it in this fashion. But let's just say you can't trade that time. Let's just say I can only trade between, after I get my kids to school in the morning, from 0900, okay, to say 12 noon, okay? What that's going to do is it's going to force any trades that are happening in that area to fire, but any trades that aren't, it's not going to show. Right? All right, so far, not a real, oh, there's one for the week. You see, and that's only one pair. As you go down, you could test all 5 pairs you're going to be doing, because remember, we're using the master signal here. We're using the master pairs, okay? Medium risk. All right, and you can see availability, like how many signals are firing during that time. Can I work these signals that are coming over? Right, there's a day, that's on December 4th, there was no trade for that time period. Right, so how many do you have so far that you could trade? 1, 2, 3, there's one just happening right there, okay, that's just recent, it's active right now. 4, so that's about 4 trades so far. Today's only, well, in my case, this week is still only Tuesday, right, from this prime time period, but it could be anything when you're looking, right? So there's 1, 2, and then you have to kind of look at what is the win-loss ratio, right? How well does a particular pair work at a particular time? So I would travel down all 5 pairs in your session time, and I would say, if you're not seeing that there's a lot of inventory to happen, then maybe you need to broaden it. Or maybe you can only trade from 1900 to say 2300, right? Your last expiry is at 10 o'clock, all right? Because you take it always 1 hour past. So if you can trade to 11 o'clock, you would trade it to 00, just like that, and hit OK. And then you would go back and you would look at, okay, where do I get enough inventory to trade with? Right? How you look at success rate from that point, depending on what you're buying, doesn't really matter at this level. You're just looking, are there enough trades? Do the majority of the trades during that time period win? That'll be your next assertion. Okay, and you would simply go down. Now you can keep track with hash marks on a piece of paper. Like that's one. This is one that would have got bought in because it was close, super close enough. This one would have gotten bought in because it was 72.40. So that's a win. That's a win. So that's 1. That's 2 to 0. You know, you can use hash marks. You can use calculations. You can use a spreadsheet. This one definitely won. This one lost. So that's 3 to 1 so far. This one picked up and won because it came within 3 pips because you're going to be using the 35.65, which we'll explain much later. This one, did it get within 3 pips? 74.04 to 74.06. Yep, this one got in and won. And how do I know it won? Because you go to the 55. We'll explain this when we're saying paper, show you in paper trading, right there. So this definitely won. It got picked up right here. Okay, got picked up right here and won right there. And this one, no, this one wouldn't have gotten picked up. So 5 to 1 so far during my time period. Now this is only 1 week, and if you have a pro account, you can go back 90 days. Or if you have a premium account, you go back 90 days. If you have a pro account, you go back 60 days from this level. Okay, so there is a lot of data you can use to find out what is the best time for you to be able to trade for you. If you're trading the other pairs here, the secondary pairs, they only trade from 0,800, okay, to 1,500. So you got to put 1,600 in there so it shows. Okay, they only trade from that time period. So if you're going to trade the secondary pairs during that, keep in mind that you may not get a lot of inventory. And if you do, it might be hard, few between. This one got in, won. So you can go back and just, you know, because you're going to be trading the 35.65 at this level, if it comes within 3 pips of your line, right? And then you can also check to see, hey, well, that's the medium level. What happens if I go with low risk? You know, it has to come really super close to low risk at that point as well, or even high risk. Okay, so if you begin to ask yourself these questions on, let me go back in and do that again. You would have to start to really break it down and paper trade until you find a good level for you to be at. But remember, not 1 or 2 trades does a trend make, right? You want to see a good consistent value in any of it. And don't feel off put. Let's say, how many trades do you need? We'll talk about that later. What is the amount of trades you really need per day? Okay, there's some traders that trade 1 a week. You know, in real life of trading Forex and stuff like that, you can have 1 trade that lasts you the whole week. In our case for here, we just got to look at maybe 1 a day, 2 a day. David Menning, who's been doing this for a very long time, very advanced trader, trades probably no more than 3 trades a day. Now he has multiple contracts because he's consistent and he knows how to look at this process. All right, so this is the best way to find your session that's best for you. You know what time the master pairs fire from 1900 to 1500, and the secondaries go from 0800 to, actually you probably want to put that back to 0700 to 1600 timings. The times will be set down in the lesson here as well. All right, I'm Max Farrell. This is DexFXMarkets.com. Remember, you are in charge of your destiny on what you and how much you can put into this and what you can operate with. Do it at your best times. Do it at your sharpest times. That will give you the most success. I'm Max Farrell. This is DexFX Markets. We'll see you next time. And as always, trade well.